Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. Today's video, as the title has already given away, is a return to my how-to series of videos, where I take one specific narrative element or trope and discuss how that narrative element can best be implemented within any kind of story you're writing. And this video within this series is actually prompted by my currently in development third book, because the thing I'm about to talk about features quite heavily within within that book. And the topic of this video is actually, as the title has already given away, how to write a tournament arc. Uh, this is another trope that has been popularized, at least within my lifetime, within the English speaking slash Western media sphere by anime, or more precisely shonen anime. However, unlike the last time I touched upon a video such as that, the topic of this video is a little bit easier to define, but somewhat harder to clarify when it comes to uh, outside factors. But still I'll do my best. Starting with the question, what is a tournament? Well, a tournament, there are some definitions. There are some definitions online. Uh, I'm gonna go with a tournament being a series of interconnected, planned out matchups, the aim of which is to crown a winner within within whatever field that specific tournament is about. Within most media, and even within most IRL sporting events, the perhaps most well-known kind of tournament is one where you have a bunch of people, bunch of people or a bunch of parties competing against each other, and then the winners proceed to proceed to the next round, have another competition, proceed to the next round, and so on and so forth. That is quite simple to keep an overview of. However, one thing of note is that it is not the only format available. And first of all, second of all, when it comes to matchups, they can feature more than two people. So if that is what you're interested in bringing to your story, that is very much something that you are capable of doing. There is some level of debate, and as far as I've seen within literary or media analysis circles, as to whether or not battle royales and div competitions such as the titular Hunger Games also count as tournament arcs, given that even though they feature a relatively large number of competitors, they still have only one formal round of competition. For the sake of this video, as I have already defined, I'm going for a definition of a tournament that revolves around there being multiple rounds. As such, not only does the typical single elimination bracket that I've described like a minute ago count as a tournament arc, but so does a competitive league, or a typical team season count as a tournament arc if if you are willing to include it. A tournament arc, therefore, is a story that focuses upon upon the kind of competition that a tournament describes, and may also contain some kind of award or accolade for the winner, for the winner by the end. Aside from the recognition that said winner is the best within their field. There are when it comes to including a tournament arc within your story, the first and perhaps most important thing to note is that just like every other story, it is first and foremost, a tournament arc is first and foremost a story with a defined goal that is to be attained, uh, uh, a certain set of obstacles that needs to be overcome, and various characters who are featured, who are featured within it, all of whom have their own distinctive features, motivations, backstories, as well as intrinsic drives, and which all uh, come to the forefront in their own in their own distinctive or engaging ways as they interact with and try to overcome each other. What makes tournament arcs distinctive, however, is okay, let me rephrase that. There are two things that make tournament arcs distinctive. The first of these is that unless otherwise specified, and unlike other competitions, unlike other kinds of stories, uh, there really is only one character who can who can accomplish their goal given the format of the competition, and as such, and as such, the unless there's some alternate means for the character to achieve to achieve whatever goal brings them into that tournament is presented, the stakes become exponentially higher compared to most other kinds of stories. Because even if you're to stick solely at competitions, there is a difference between a friendly match, for example, and a championship final, regardless of who is involved within that within that final. Even if they're not bigger, they're still different. To what extent the exponents of the stakes change is something that the author has a lot of freedom crafting, and that freedom is mainly expressed through two avenues. The first of these being the world outside of the tournament, namely how much. Namely, what it is that brings these characters to the tournament, and the second of these is actually the characters themselves. How do their own internal their own internal makeup set out or allow them to go through the tournament. What is it about it that they find noteworthy, important, or meaningful? The second thing to consider is that again, unless otherwise specified, the quality or variety or distinctive features of the obstacles the characters face when it comes to going through this tournament are more or less the same for all parties involved, and therefore the features that make these that make the characters or the parties involved within the tournament distinctive shine through that much more. That means both their personal abilities or powers, as well as their motivations, and their intrinsic drives. Alternatively, you can also showcase how it is that these develop, and whether or not they develop at all, because both of these still make some kind of statement about the characters involved. Another alternative, one that I've noticed also has some level of popularity, is when the tournament is put together by less savory figures. See also Enter the Dragon and the entire Mortal Kombat franchise, because one once that is in place, and the quality of the obstacles that that the characters can and that the characters would be expected to face off against changes or varies depending on the allegiances or motivations or other such factors stemming from the characters themselves, then that brings another avenue for the author to flesh out the story, the world, and the stakes that the characters have to deal with as they advance through the narrative. Regardless of how it is that an author, or more generally a creator, chooses to utilize these elements to write, develop, flesh out their tournament arc, one thing that always needs to be considered is keeping the score. Or more precisely, what does that mean? That means how far along is the tournament? How close or far are the all characters from achieving their goals? And it is that level of score, that level of progression throughout the narrative, that the author or creator needs to always keep in the back of their mind, and also needs to be able to present to their audience. That is perhaps why single elimination tournaments are as popular as they are, because it's quite simple. You win, you move ahead. You don't have to worry about like point tallies or various other criteria to to settle draws or stuff like that. Regardless, as I said, progression needs to be both known and needs to both be communicated to the audience. Because in that way, if the audience always has a strong idea of how the stakes of the narrative develop, they will be more likely to keep being invested in the story. That's not the only way that characters can be invested within a tournament arc, but it is a unique way for people following tournament arcs to become invested in them. And yeah, that was basically my video. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, well then please like the video, maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If you have anything you'd like to add to the trope itself or to my suggestions for implementing it, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My books, the first of my own Heir to the Empire series, The Next Generation and the Path Not Taken, are available at various book retailers under their respective links in the description down below. Right past my social media links, which I will suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, you have the option of following me on Patreon, where depending on the level at which you pledge, you will receive various perks, such as early access to my videos and scripts, both for this channel and my second one, because yes, I also have a second channel, where I talk about whatever it is that interests me in that moment. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.